Well, it's bright and early in the morning, and we're loaded up. We've got the Grinch and the Bully on the trailers, and I am definitely looking forward to this trip. Welcome back, guys. We're gonna end up vlogging this from the iPhone. That way I can edit and put stuff up while we go on our trip and share our adventure with you guys. We appreciate all of you hanging out and sticking with us through this kind of mayhem. I don't know. It's crazy. It's been fun. Yeah, so we're gonna get out there and tune it up and see how she'll do. Getting anxious. All right, let's hit the road. What do you think, Milo?
I see you got a wastegate on there.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, why? All the beast.
We don't need no stinking wastegates. Yeah.
Man. I can't believe you guys got this done in, what, less than 2 weeks?
Yeah, honestly. We had like 4 days of fabrication. And, you know, we just fit it in between customer cars and like what we were doing. It was like 10 days total, but not full days working on it until the last bit there, and we knocked it out.
Just got a little bit of finishing up to do.
Yeah, man, I love the property you got here out in Nashville. This is crazy good.
Yeah.
Can't wait to put a shop out here, and we're out here dynoing. Yep. It's gonna go down. This will be cool. What an adventure. And my buddy Tom, they're over there putting some jacks in the trailer. He's also got a little pro front wheel drive car that has become I don't know, spot to put all his stuff. It has a Prelude engine in it, and it is just wicked rad. Literally, see, it says wicked. He needs to get it back out and race the Bully once again. Get all the stuff off of it. It is wicked. He's had some transmission problems. He has a Fortin sequential in this one. The problem is every time he's taking it out, the transmission's broke, so it kind of just bummed him out and the car sat. So you guys know any tips and tricks for the Fortin sequentials, or how to motivate this guy to get this thing going so we can go ahead and race the Bully? That'd be rad. So what do you think? Are you gonna be ready to race that 900 horse Civic?
I don't know.
You don't know, huh?
I don't know.
Eventually you're gonna hide from the camera?
Yes. It's morning time.
It is morning and we're all a little tired, but
I'm ready.
caps are off.
That takes 20 seconds.
Your car is buried. What are we gonna do with this, man? I just told the whole internet to like
I told you it's coming to your
talk
shop
to you
on the
about
way
it.
home. I told you that.
It's coming to the shop.
It's coming to your shop. As soon as you come back, it's coming to your shop.
All right.
I gotta make a.
Because maybe December 15th.
When you guys coming back?
Well, December 15th IFO
Oh shit.
in
no.
Vegas, dog.
I gotta change channels and all that stuff.
We should probably get to work then.
I just gotta go to Texas.
Look how fast we did this one.
Mine's a lot easier than this though.
If it's easier, then what's the
I
problem?
just gotta go get a channel.
Then we need a tranny. Get this guy a Fortin or something that works.
You gotta go pick it up. Let's go pick it up.
Yeah. You're gonna stick with the Fortin though, right?
You gotta turn these guys up like bullhorns and put nostrils in.
Oh, you got timing light on your seat.
It's alright, it's like a booster seat, huh?
velocity, bro. Nothing else like it,
Hey,
bro.
Dad, look, I was gonna go try to attack the lawnmower.
So it's been quite the adventure. As you guys saw in the Boosted Boys episode, Kyle's truck broke. We had someone lend us one, and it's just been quite the journey. It's been humbling, to say the least. And then the outpouring of you guys all watching the video, ooh, pumped up. I am pumped, and can't wait to see how the car does. A lot of you guys have asked questions about the car, and I figured while we're on our drive, maybe I could answer some of those questions in this video and just give you guys a little update until we get to Florida and get on the dyno and start working things out. There are a few things I need to do as soon as we get there. I still have to wire the nitrous. I still have to wire the two-step. I still have to get some inputs talking to each other. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Should be able to handle it before next weekend. God, I can't think of what else I gotta do, dude. Go fast. There's that side of things. Whew. But it's looking good, that's for sure. So the car and I have had many battles back and forth. Countless different setups and trying different torque converters to get it to come up and launch. And as of now, like, there's guys on the East Coast that they all got it working. It's pretty awesome. There's some torque converters that came out, and these guys have kind of figured them all out. The torque converter in it is one that I've had before. I spent just a lot of money on torque converters trying to get them figured out, and it just never quite worked. But with the V6 and the extra torque, I'm really hopeful about this whole thing. I'm actually kind of amped up, a little nervous, but excited at the same time, because, you know, I designed the car in 2000. In 2001, I started on it. I bought tools. I kind of, I don't know, just taught myself how to build a chassis. I taught myself how to kind of make it all work. At first, like I said, like if you guys haven't seen the video before, I gave the history of it. You know, I had the engine backwards with a V drive. It all went to SEMA. Jeff Mullen and the guys at the shop helped me build that then, and we tried it. It just didn't work for one reason or another. And to campaign a car like this, it does cost a lot of money, and I'm still a little shop, you know. Even now, I'm still a little shop. So this is still a pretty big undertaking, and it's kind of fun, and it's a little nerve-wracking doing it in front of the whole world, you know. But I, you know, right now I just believe that our fans and everybody else is just, you know, we've gotten smart, we've gotten older, and you guys are all supporting, and you got my back, and we're gonna know if it works. If the chassis doesn't end up working, we can change it. We can rigid it out, put suspension all on it again, put a wheelie bar or no bar, and we start just dialing in with the big tires, and maybe just keep pounding this thing until it works, you know, because it does look amazing, right? I mean, it's unreal. But a lot of guys have had questions, like what motor is in it, how did you do the damper on the front, you know, all of this stuff. So I feel like I'm just gonna run through it all with you guys and give you guys that are new to the channel and new to everything we're doing, what it all is and what we're trying to do. So when I first thought of using the Power Glide transmission, You know, it was originally to a V-drive, but the whole point of going with this transmission at that time in the early days was because it was a reliable transmission. Nowadays, they've got dog boxes and they have things that, you know, like what the Grinch has. This stuff does work. It's still a little more sensitive than I like, but the companies are all working on it. So, you know, you buy a pretty expensive box, but you got to change the dogs every now and then, and you got to do this. Well, that gets expensive to actually run your car, you know? Trying to figure out a way where you can go rounds and tweak just the chassis and add more power and that kind of stuff. And not saying those new transmissions don't allow you to do that, but you mess up, you misshift, you don't have your cut set right, and you're replacing the dogs. That's just the rule. That's just how it is, you know? So I always believed in making a power glide work because, you know, I got countless friends that do bracket racing and dragsters, and countless friends that have domestic cars with the transmission, and they just go laps, you know? If you watched our video with John Jacobs, he's got a power glide in that 7-second Mustang, and he doesn't mess with it. It just works. So that's why I chose the power glide. And then just kind of researching out and trying to figure out how I could do a differential and not get the length too far forward, because, you know, you could couple it to a Ford 9-inch or something, but then the overhang, which a lot of you guys are asking why the overhang is so much, you know, and it is all kind of diff placement. So the whole thing is, like you said, a lot of you guys have said, it's a rear-wheel drive setup in a front-wheel drive. The whole thing ended up this way just to get the transmission right and to have some reliability in a car. Over the years, I haven't made it reliable because I've kind of overthunk things and made it harder to engineer, and just like I said, the torque converter and other things, I just haven't had a chance to really make this stuff go. But I think I've said a ton of times, to start with a fast car, you gotta start with a transmission, start with something reliable, something that works, and that's where the Chevy transmission came from. As Cletus has showed, the Corvette rear ends can handle quite a bit of power. He has broken them, but at the same time, his car weighs a lot more. This car weighs 2,000 pounds with me in it, full weight, and it may be a little lighter because I've gotten rid of an air-to-water intercooler and there's things that are gone. We did add 2 more cylinders and another turbo, which may offset some of that weight, but at the same time, it is still pretty neat. And I think if we're 2,000 pounds and, you know, 600 to 1,000 horsepower, this thing ought to be pretty fast. And I'll actually get some data on the suspension. I do have a sensor that monitors how much flex is going on in the chassis. I'm gonna have to set that up as well. So we've got a lot to do, guys. And I'm gonna use your guys's, you know, your energy is feeding my energy, which is pushing me to push this thing. And so I'm gonna keep busting it out and trying to make this thing go. So we can kind of go over some of the stuff. This is an ATI damper from an S2000. The alternator is from a Honda Prelude, which we just drilled and tapped this hole, and we put a little bolt on the bottom. The turbos are eBay GT3582s. They are available at pfispeed.com. We got an aeromotive regulator, Walbro 525 pump. The engine is a J32 6-cylinder from an Acura TL. They're found in like the 2002 models. Really a nice setup engine. There's some other model engines, and you got to vary some things to get it up to this much power, but they're all pretty dang good, and a lot of interchange on it. The manifold is the Holley Plenum with the P2R adapter and Holley throttle body, and a vibrant intercooler that Sean you saw fab. The tires are 32 10.5Ws. I've had as big as 32 14s on it. And maybe we'll play with something again later as we figure out the car, but honestly, these tires are so fast, that car's flying this. Yeah. So this video could be all over the place. I believe we were at Tom's and on the road and all over the planet. But at the same time, we've been just dragging this car with us and getting to Florida and trying to make this happen for y'all. The build-off's coming, and I'm super stoked for that, and I'm super stoked to try to get this thing on the dyno and solve some bugs and make this thing just fly. I mean, I just love the fact that it just starts right up, just instantly. It's been a serious weight off my shoulders, and this whole journey has just been so uplifting. I appreciate you guys all for hanging out. I appreciate you guys watching. I look forward to pushing this thing in the future and you guys coming with me. So give us a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Okay.
Maybe this can get up like 5-7 horsepower, you know? So why? Because the air is so dirty.
Samantha's just finishing up the throttle bracket there. Drilling those and get that mounted. We had to change the cable